In the last episode, as we talked about accusations and the agreements we have with Satan's accusations against us, we realized that we have to be careful. And Colossians chapter 2, verse 8 says, don't let anybody take you captive. But there's another one. It's in verse 16 says, therefore, let no one pass judgment on you in questions. You remember when Adam and Eve were in the garden and Eve was confronted by the serpent who was crafty. And that's what was happening here. It was a judgment of questions. The judgment here is about food and drink, but the judgment in the garden was, did God really say? Really what he was saying is, God really good? Is he really out for your benefit? Is he withholding something from you? Maybe he doesn't see you as qualified enough to join in these great fruitful things, the most beautiful thing in the midst of the garden. Maybe you're not worth it. Maybe you are inadequate. You see, he's crafty. He's not just trying to get her to eat the fruit. He's trying to get her to believe lies about God. And so Paul, when he's talking about nailing those things to the cross and coming up triumphant in the authority Christ has given you, he's saying there, let no one pass judgment on you in questions. Don't let the devil come and question you. Is God good? I prayed and I had no answer. I prayed that my prodigal son would come home and he didn't. And then you begin to question. You begin to question God's goodness. You begin to question his effectiveness. You begin to question your own faith. Maybe you question your own righteousness. If I was a better person, or if I wasn't struggling with this pattern of sin, then I'd have power. No, God's given you power. He's given you authority. So therefore, let no one pass judgment. I like what Paul's saying here in verse 8. Let no one take you captive. And then secondly, he says, and also don't let no one pass judgment on you. This is important so you don't feel under judgment. You don't feel the judgment of these accusations. The weight of that is broken by the power of the cross. And then you can enjoy the goodness of God in your life.